Welcome back, Rivals. This is Xonia, and you are in the zone. Today, we're going to be doing our ELO matches again, so let's get into it. I've actually already finished all of the DR Sentinel missions, so there's no need in order to make a half deck with Sentinel anymore for me there. So let's just go ahead and look at our legendary missions, and we'll take a look at what we have to do for our deck this week. If you want to go ahead and skip ahead, I'm going to go ahead and put the thing right up here. So somewhere up here there should be a skip ahead to the matches, straight to the matches, if you don't want to watch the deck building. So here we have Berserk, we've already finished, Nightmare already finished, La Junta already finished, Bangers. So I was going to do Bangers next anyways after All-Stars, so we'll be looking at a Bangers budget deck. After that, we're going to also do some Roots, since the Roots missions just came out the other day. So I've already finished the first one, but the second one is 50 damage with Roots. So nothing special here, I just need Bangers cards and Roots cards. And since I don't need to do anything else, that makes it pretty simple. So let's get into our collection and see what we're going to be working with today. So, we'll give the internet a minute to readjust itself. Go into Bangers. Well, fully developed only this time. Doesn't need to be best character. Fully developed only is just fine. Go ahead and scroll down, see what we have here. So, again, I should have a card floating around somewhere about my Bangers video. As you know, they really kind of live and die by the pill. Ooh, Blaster CR is available this week? I guess we're going to be using Blaster CR. Excellent card, fantastic. Okay, so that's 4. We definitely want Duke Snop. Really good card. That's another 2. Who else do we want? Oh, but I said I was going to do a Bangers budget deck. So I guess I can't go with that one. Alright, so again, for the budget deck, here we are with Bangers. Since it's a budget deck, we're going to go ahead and go with any cards that are under 2k. So let's go ahead and take a look at cards under 2k. Angie, no. So B-Ball. B-Ball is not the best 2-star, but having DR is always good, so we'll go ahead and throw him in the deck. BB Cool G is abysmal. I would never put him in any deck ever. Benny is not bad, but he's not great. He's very conditional. We'll put him in just because he's not horrible. Let's see. Oh, Blidgy. Blidgy has Pills Manipulation, and she's a 6/5. That's actually, it's not great, but it's not bad, and it's under 2k, so that definitely fits our category for cards that we want. Carlito. Again, Carlito, not a bad card. 8/5 with protection damage is actually somewhat helpful at times. Not amazing. Obviously not amazing, but for a budget beginner's deck, not a bad card at all. We've got Clifford. We could look at Clifford. We'll go ahead and throw him in there just in case. Oh, I really wish Duke Snop could be in this one. Dudsy's just out as well. Okay. Gyro. I wouldn't put Gyro in there. And Jenny's not really a very good card either. Kevin is horrible. Kevlar is not bad, but he doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So we're really just looking at protection against SOB there. I'd love to put Crink LD in there, that'd be really good, but he's not going to fit either. Letitia is not a bad card, but I don't know if I would really recommend getting her, especially since her prices have inflated, because she has old artwork and will probably be updated to an RB eventually. So I'm going to stay away from Letitia, plus she's really close to 2k, so no real helpful there. Lil J is a great card. We'll go ahead and put him in the deck. Lucio is a wonderful card as well. 10 power, really good. Massive, also very good. I love Massive. Great little 2-star. MCDK is horrible. MC Leroy, not bad either. Okay, so we got MC Leroy. Miru, I would stay away from. Nakey, I would stay away from. Platuna, again, no real ability. She's just a downgraded version. Even for a beginner, I just wouldn't recommend her. I can't really recommend her. Raquel is an excellent card as long as you play her late game. So I'm going to go ahead and throw her in just in case. Sid knows. No, thank you. Oh, Tasty is just over 2k. How sad. Really wish I could have put him in the deck. Would have been a really great card. Yep, everybody else is way too expensive. So, let's go ahead and take a look at my deck for the moment. B-Ball, Benny, Blidgy, Carlito, Clifford, Kevlar, Lil J, Lucio, Massive, MC, Leroy, and Raquel. Okay, so these are the cards that we're going to be able to choose between. Benny, there's really no need for Benny because we have cards like Kevlar, Lil J, and Raquel in here, so we can get rid of him. Who else can we get rid of? I'm probably not going to be playing a 5-star, so I'm going to go ahead and remove Clifford. And I don't know if I would want Clifford as my 5-star anyway. So let's go ahead and refresh that, see what we're down to. Okay, Lucio, Carlito. Our 3 stars are Lucio, Carlito, and MC Leroy. Lucio, Carlito, and MC Leroy. I love Lucio, but I want the extra damage. I feel like Carlito with protection damage is going to be worth more than Lucio for me, even though Lucio does have, you know, that extra 2 power, which is really strong, really good. You know, I'm still not going to get rid of him, though. We have a lot of 2-stars running around here. Raquel, Lil J, Massive, Kevlar, and B-Ball. I'm going to get rid of Kevlar because he just is kind of outclassed by everyone else here and what they can do. Okay, well, we've narrowed it down to 8 for now. Let's go ahead and look at our Roots half, and then hopefully our Roots cards will help us figure out what we should be doing overall. So let's go ahead. Where are my Roots cards? Over here. Fully developed only. Just make it appear a little bit faster, hopefully. Okay. Oh, so it still shows doubles. Okay. Anyway, so we're looking for Roots cards that can actually do damage. I guess we can go ahead and still try and make this a budget deck. Not that that's really going to do anybody a lot of good, I feel, in the long run. But anyway, if we do stick to the budget, then Crayho is a good choice. Even though he's got the plus life, he's really not a bad card at all. I would stay away from Fudge with everything that I have. Gurchin would be amazing, but we're not using mono. What else do we have here? Man, keeping this to low is really, really hard. For a low deck. Can't even put Yuki in there. Ugh, that's really unfortunate. Can't even put Yaman in there, not that I would ever use him. I need cards that will actually do damage. Oh, Simeon! Yes, Simeon is available. Oh, just under 2k. Excellent. Simeon is a fantastic 5-star. He'll do a lot of damage. I'm really happy that we're able to put him in here for now. Oh, that's a really great find. I guess we could have tried to fit Nova in there, but I don't think that would really do us a whole lot of good. It's really hard to find cards under 2k in Roots. Wow. Okay, well, since it's clearly not going to be simple to do the damage with these, Bishop is absolutely useless because he's a support card. Not really going to help us at all. I don't want to put Ben in there. I'm really going to try and keep this to budget decks, guys, but this is really unfortunate. I hope... I can't even put Flora in there. Flora is banned. But we can fit Willow. Okay, I noticed Willow is fine. She's at 790. I guess I'm just going to fudge this a bit, guys. And hopefully you'll forgive me by putting Yuki in here. I'm only going to put Yuki in here because obviously I have cards that are well under... the 2k, and so it would still balance out to less than 2k a card. So maybe I should say it's 8k, under 8k half deck. But I really do want to try and keep it to under 2k cards, because I know saving up even for just a little bit extra can be really hard for some people. So I think we've got our 4 cards now. Let's take a look at our Roots deck. Kreho, Simeon, Willow, and Yuki. That's actually not a bad half deck at all. It's a pretty good half deck. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 star half deck. Not bad. I'm happy with that as well. Okay, so if we look at all of our cards here then, we've got 13 stars here, which means we've only got 12 for our bangers half. We're only going to need 12 stars. I'd like to keep Blidgy in, just because everything else is pretty low, which means that we're down to, what, 8 stars among our last 3. Which means we can fit 2 3-stars and 1 2-star card. Okay, so if we're going to get 2 3-star cards, let's take a look down here. Because we have Roots, I can remove I've actually moved on to Skills and done all of these Skills Pills missions already now, and I'm working on Uluwatu plus life. Anyway, sorry. Okay, so because we have Roots, they're going to be doing a lot of damage already anyway. So to be honest, Carlito, even though he's got this 5 damage, I'm going to go ahead and remove him, because I would rather have the power dynamic going for me here, because Roots can struggle a bit with only being 7 power with no real pill manipulation or attack manipulation in order to get them over where they need to be. So I'm going to stick with Lucio and MC Leroy as my 2. So I have Lucio and MC Leroy and Blidgy, and then I need to pick one of these cards as my 2-star. B-Ball, I would love to have a little more DR. I mean, we do have the DR from Willow and Yuki down here, so we don't need a lot more if we are going to throw any more in the deck. Lil J, I'd really like to slot Massive or Raquel in there, but Massive is a little too random for me, so I don't really want him in there. Raquel is only going to be late game. I would rather save my DR for late game, so I'm going to remove her. I guess we're going to go with Lil J, because Lil J is actually a pretty good 2-star. So I'm not displeased with that choice. So here we have our deck for this week. So by default, we now have our deck of Blidgy, Lil J, Lucio, MC Leroy, Kreho, Simeon, Willow, and, sorry guys, Yuki, even though he's just over 2,000. Hopefully you'll forgive me. He's definitely a card that's worth the extra weight for the extra 500 Clints. So definitely go out and get yourself a Yuki whenever you can, because he is a beast of a card. So here is our deck. Alright, so we just need to do damage with Roots, and we need to win some matches with at least 2 bangers. So let's see if we can go ahead and do that. Let's go to play now. Alright, so let's head into ELO. Again, I'll just show this quickly here. 1000 ELO, no games yet. We haven't played anything. So, let's get playing. A lot of interesting things have been going on in UR recently. We had the whole Halloween event. I was able to get a hold of the new bat loan. Not going to sell him. I think it's more fun to just have him. I'm glad that I earned him. Free card is a free card. I know people say, oh, it's not free, I had to spend time on it, but you know, you chose to spend your time on it, and the card was free. You got it for free. There was no money change involved. I mean, you can argue, yes, there was effort spent for it, but everything takes effort. So, regardless. We're playing Newbie Horse, level 47. We have Vortex, and so he's got a really good combination here going on, because Frozen is going to get their bonus when he loses, and he probably wants to lose with these cards because they're going to give him more pills in order to fuel his Frozen cards. So I think what we will do first is we will throw Willow with nothing against his Dia. Well thought out? No, perhaps not, but if I'm going to get that defeat going, for Willow to be worth anything at all as a heal card, I'd kind of need to throw her first. Wasn't going to use her for damage anyway. So, right now, the only card I really need to worry about is Offalun, or whatever you want to say for it. So, Yuki would be a somewhat obvious choice. However, I kind of want to save Yuki for these guys, and these two are not going to be as much of a problem right now. I have a feeling if I do this, he may actually go for the Ophalun, because he doesn't want to lose too many pills. Okay, so if I played Yuki, he would not play Ophalun, that's for sure. He would probably just throw off with Anuka or Sabrinak, saving his... Even if he did throw it, that would put a better situation, because I do still have the pill lead, and even with Sabrinak or Blidgy, he did 5 with Dia, but I really want to save Yuki for the other ones. I guess I'm just going to have to try and cover the Ophalun all-in plus Fury, so hopefully he would think that he needs to Fury as well. So 7... If he did 7 pills with that, that's 49, 8. It would only get me to 48, so it would actually be better to throw MC Leroy because he has 9 power versus the 49, which means I need 6 pills, 54. That doesn't put me too far in the black, or in the red, I should say, if I get myself in trouble here, but... My guess is that his response is either going to be Ophalun or Anuka, because Anuka can still copy the bonus. He knows that his Frozen are not going to be able to get 2 revenge rounds in. Hopefully he forgets, and I don't forget, that I still have Willow working in the background, so Willow is still going to bring me back 3 heal as long as I am not KO'd. Okay, there's the Ophalun all in. Oh, and he did go for the Fury! Yes! It did make sense for him to do that as well, because with Vortex he will get pretty much all of his pills back. Not all of them, but he will lose a few, and thankfully plus pills comes before minus pills, so MC Leroy will still steal 1 from him, which puts me at 1 ahead on pills, 8-7. Now I just have to worry about Sabrinak and Anuka, and because he has 1, that means I can basically toss this round with Yuki. He will do less damage, he will not get his pills back from Sabrinak. Blidgy will absolutely obliterate anyone because I have that 1 extra pill lead, which means that I can still beat Anuka with her copy bonus. I would beat Sabrinak because she would not have anything on a confidence round, so on a confidence round, Anuka is his best card. I'm pretty sure this match is mine. Got very lucky there that he went all in with his Ophalun. So if we throw Yuki with nothing, we keep our pill lead. Yes, Sabrinak will win, but as Newbie Horse was hoping, I would spend at least 1 pill. I have no desire to spend that pill, and this is why being able to lose a round is just as important as being able to win a round, and it's one of the ways that you can really mess up a Frozen deck. Frozen decks need to be able to lose, and the problem is he's got cards here that are not designed to lose. So we go in then with Blidgy. Anuka will copy my bonus, putting Anuka at 8 power as well, but we have the 1 extra pill. We'll do our 5 damage, we'll gain 1 more life, 1 more heal from Willow, and that is the end of our first match. Well done, Newbie Horse. I didn't even bother to check the powers and damages this time around, just dove right into it, for better or worse. I'm glad that this turned out better than it could have, for sure. Alright, let's go to our next match. Glovido, or Glovito. Level 74, knows his stuff. We've got low power, but of course Oshitsune is going to absolutely eat me alive. 3-1 split, so he's got stop-op bonus for pretty much everything. Except for Exodus, which gives him his Courage stop-op ability. He's definitely got me beaten by power. The funny thing, though, is that Lil J will go pill for pill with Oshitsune. Take that, Oshitsune. So as long as I don't get behind in pills by too much, we'll be okay there. Skareto is probably going to be one of my bigger problems here, because he can lead right now with either Skareto or Exodus, which means that if he wants to use those, Oshitsune is definitely going to come in a reprisal round, which is sad for me, but so be it. The nice thing about both Scaretto and Exodus are that when he plays them, I can play Willow. They will force him to play at least one pill, and I will also get my defeat heal, which means that Scaretto will either do 2 damage or Exodus will do 3 overall, as long as I can survive, and the heal keeps me alive. I think what I'm probably going to end up doing here is throwing off on Willow round 1. Exodus was probably his slightly better move. He probably didn't play too many pills because he knows that Lil J can tie Yoshitsune and Artis and Scaretto and all that jazz. So, let's see. MC Leroy would lose his pills, but I'd only get 4 damage in, which is definitely not worth it. And if he went in big, I could get myself in trouble. He knows I want Confident Simeon, so he's probably going to think that I want to go strong, but I don't. I'm very happy to just throw off with Willow. Probably only played 2 or 3 pills. Yep. As expected, I should have thrown 1 more on Willow. I'm okay with that, though. It's my own fault for not heeding my own advice. Really just wanted that pill advantage. Okay, so what are we gonna get here? We can throw Little J. He may see it as a bluff. You know, let's just be. Okay, so what do we do here? We know we don't want Simeon, so he knows that I'm gonna want to set something up with Simeon. He's got Artis that he can just throw off, and then Scaretto follow with the Courage, and then finish me off with Oshitsune. So if I throw Little J now, I'm in big trouble. He knows that I have the pill lead. So let's see if we can still take this round. So with the 1, what this is going to put me in a situation, and he'll probably read into it as well, is by doing this, if I win, I still maintain the pill lead. If I lose, I still maintain the pill lead, which means that basically this match is almost... His Oshitsune will be useless after this round. If he does not play Oshitsune this round, then I'm definitely going to be able to counter it with my Lil J, and I will have enough pills in order to pill for pill with Oshitsune. That would also put me on a tie with Exodus. So the one thing I would need to with Exodus is damage, because it's 3 and 3. The issue I have here is that if he wins with Scaretto, then my MC Leroy will not do enough damage in order to bring in the win. So he has played Oshitsune. I wanted to play a lot of pills, but I should have done it. I was thinking of playing more. Oh, I was gonna do 7. Okay, well, anyway. He read what I needed to do. He has definitely destroyed me this time around. There's pretty much nothing I can do at this point. Because with Simeon and Little J, even with Simeon's confidence, I'd be able to do 10. We're going to get Scaretto and Artis's minus damage. I should have taken that into account. Yep. Was really hoping that he would assume that I'd gone in bigger with MC Leroy, but that ended that. So Scaretto has definitely taken me out this time. We can still have some fun here, because I'll still gain 2 more life back 4, which means I would only need to do 10, which means that if I was able to Fury with both of my guys, I might be able to win. So let's just assume he's gone all in with Scaretto. 7 is going to put me at minus 2 power. It's going to put me at 4, but he's actually going to be at 6. 6 times 8 is 48. I'm only at 4. I would need 12. Well, let's just see if he's gone all in with Scaretto. It doesn't really matter in the end anyway. Okay. So actually, I didn't take any minus damage because Lil J is under her damage min. But because he still has Artis, it doesn't matter. Well done, Glovito. Well done. Because here I'll do 7, minus 3 is only 4. 7 to 4. Final amount. Alright, battle lost, so let's head on to our third match. So I'm actually curious about your thoughts, for those of you who are watching. What do you think about all of the stuff that came out for the Halloween event? There's been a lot of talk on the threads, and maybe you've seen that I've posted some things on there as well. If you haven't seen it, then please don't go read it and then answer. I'm honestly curious in what your opinion is. I only got Lone. I didn't get the Leliana, so it's no real loss for me at all. It's just about what do you think would be a fair compensation or no compensation for the people who went in. A lot of people have been saying things, for example, like the cards were said that they would not be placed on the market for 30 days, but the wording was will not be placed for general purchase on the market. And the kind of key phrase there for Urban Rivals is the general purchase. Do you consider a thematic pack general purchase or not? Is it general because the general public was able to buy it, or is it general purchase because it's a kind of normal pack available in packs for everyone forever from here on out? So I'm curious what your thought is, because as well, even though it was available in the pack was very expensive. It was 90 credits, and they said there were quite a few cards in the pack, I believe. 3 rares, so it's 90 credits, 3 rares, it's like 15 cards in the pack. It was essentially like a titanium pack, I think. So the chances of actually having the card come on to be won is pretty low, actually, I would say. Anyway, before we continue, let's take a look at this. Lady Sicho. I think she's going for Psycho. That's fine. Okay, Lady Psycho. Level 61. Knows her stuff. We've got Freaks and Uluwatu. We've got Shazam, which is the I'm going to win this first round no matter what kind of card. Really wants that poison. I do not have a lot of damage, so dealing with poison is going to be a huge pain unless I can use my heal as well. So I think what I'm going to do here is, again, as normal, I'm just going to throw Willow for 1 because he really wants that. But now Lady Psycho is only going to get 1. Yeah, it's only going to really get 1 heal, or 1 poison each round. The issue is that my heal does not kick in until 10, so I've got to do at least 4 points of damage. Okay, so what are we looking at next? Well, we'd like to avoid this Dylan. Dylan's not going to really get anything. Doesn't really have anything going for him. We don't want to spend a whole lot. I think we can still win this if we have Kreiho and Yuki, because these stop abilities are definitely going to be able to deal with Quasi-Choco's minus damage. So playing Little J first is the best, because the last thing I want to do is have Little J have to decide Quasi-Choco or not. So why don't we just do... What do we need for Little J? So if Little J reduces power by 1, Esmeralda is going to be at 15. I don't have my bonus, so I need at least 18. So let's go with 2, just in case he throws Esmeralda for nothing. Not particularly worried about the other cards at this moment. He could go in really big with Dylan, but if he goes in really big with Dylan, I'm going to start getting my heal already. So actually, I don't mind losing this round because it will do my heal more damage, and it will bring me 1 extra overall if they take me to below 10 before that. So if he plays Quasi-Choco or Dylan, that would be his best bet. Actually, Quasi-Choco's best use would be this round, because it's the only round that he's actually going to get any damage. He did go with 0, which is excellent. It's no problem for me to lose those pills because I'm already at a pill advantage. So he will get his 2 from that. Oh, even worse, my heal is still not going to work yet because heal comes before poison. This is one of those times when it really stinks that heal is before poison instead of after, but sometimes it is definitely better to be before. So now we've got Quasi Choco, and ultimately all I really need to ensure is that Dylan doesn't win, and so Dylan not winning is not going to be an issue for me. I can even Fury with Crayho if I want to, if I don't play a single pill. So Quasi Choco, even if he Furies, it's only going to get him 4, 6. Actually, again, I don't mind if Quasi Choco does any damage to me at all. I would rather just play 0 here and then Fury. So with Quasi Choco, I'm now going to be able to use my heal. And because I go first, and because Crayho is a little bit 1 less star, and I play first, I've got my 7 pills versus his 7 pills. Thankfully, Dylan does not have his bonus. And I think that's the end of this round as well. Well done, Lady Psycho. 7 life gap here. I'll still gain the 1 from my heal, because I'll only be at 9 life instead of 10. So I will go back up to 10, and he will be at 6. She will be at 6, sorry. Anyway, so back to the issue of the Halloween packs. So do you think it was general purchase or not? I think that's one of the big sticking points here, because if it was general purchase, then UR has made a huge mistake. If you don't believe it was general purchase, then that's kind of the next part then. So what would be fair compensation for those who lost it? And I think that's a lot more difficult because things have happened in the meantime to make things even more complicated. So for example, I think there was one person who spent quite a bit on the cards and then actually spent even more afterwards. So kind of, I think he shot himself in the foot because he's maybe made the admins believe that there is a high desire for this card, and that's why the price has shot back up to 400k, where it may not actually have done that. It's kind of a fake inflation that won't be discovered until a few weeks from now, when maybe nobody buys the card for the next couple weeks. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe there will still be people who want to buy the card, and if that is the case, I'm figuring it's kind of doubtful, because if they didn't buy it at 250k, then it probably wouldn't be bought at 400k. But there is the possibility that there were people that were just not logged into UR during the last couple days, who are very rich players who don't really have any qualms about spending tons and tons of money. So the issue is going to be how many cards were added versus how many people actually want to buy the card. Because if there are a lot more, then there's really no issue, and it was just a couple days of loss, which is unfortunate, but not the end of the world. So let's look what we got here. We got Cortez, Leopold, Keanu, and Teham. Wow, 2 5 stars. Man, stacked deck. Okay, so let's see. He could actually KO me on round 2 with Cortez if Leopold does damage. So I think what I'm going to do here, just to see if he's done nothing on Leopold, I don't have any of my other real cards out right now, and I don't mind faking his fake with the Cortez. I'm going to play Little J because Leopold's attack is going to be reduced by 1. Okay, good. So he's committed a decent number of pills. And now he's potentially going to try and KO me with Cortez without my knowledge. So I'm going to look like I'm an idiot, and he's going to be able to do, if he goes all in, 6 times 8 is 48. So I really just need 5 pills in order to prevent the out-and-out KO. If he wants to go all in, this is kind of, I guess, what I would say my trap is. If he decides to go all in and not go for the KO, he's going to have very few pills, which is extremely beneficial for me in the first place. Additionally, he will, because I'm not playing Roots this time, if he goes for Cortez with a really big pill in, he will also take the Backlash, which will put him, it'll put me and leave me at 2, but then I only need to do 12 damage. 2 will come from his Backlash, and then if I can win with Yuki and then Simeon. Okay, but he didn't do that. That's good. Just one pilled. He ulted on Keanu. Okay. Good strategy for him, but now Simeon is more than able to do what he needs to. And I think that's going to kind of end this match in a way, because I can just use Yuki in order to hold whoever does damage. If he plays Cortez, this match is over. He has to play Taeham, because if he plays Cortez, I can just outpill him right now with Simeon, and then Taeham versus Yuki, Yuki's going to have the -2 damage and the game's over. If he plays Taeham first, then I run into this issue of, what do I do? Actually, it really doesn't matter then, does it? Because, yep, he's played Cortez first, which doesn't make a whole lot of sense, because even if he Furies, it doesn't matter, because I have my confidence this round. 8 and 9 is 72. I have 9. 9 times 8 is 72, but he played first, so I have to go all in. That's okay. We'll go all in with Simeon. So yeah, I think it didn't matter at that point at all. It was over based on his choice. I will do my 7 damage, and he will not be able to do more than 5 because of Yuki. Okay. So yeah, so back again to the Halloween packs, what kind of compensation would be fair? The issue is, if you're going to give compensation, you want to give an amount that they would have lost overall, but there's really no way to know how much they would have lost, especially if the prices continue to go back up. It's much easier if it's just kind of a set kind of bam, we're one and done, it's over, and that's kind of what happened with RBs. Like, it happened, it's done, there's no way to recover the price at all. However, those who waited to sell still have the rest of their 30 days. In fact, they still have, what, like 21 days? 22 days at this point? I don't even remember how many it is now. I think it's like 22 days now. 22 days in order to sell off the rest of their cards, which could be enough, and it might not be, but it's going to take time either way in order to get that figured out as to what's going on. So, if you do that as well, though, then because of this market, and this was one of the biggest sticking points for me, I think I've got one more match that I need to do. One of the biggest sticking points for me is that if this pack actually affected the price, which I think we did, then how much of it was the pack, and how much of it was simply what the seller's perception of the card's value was that dropped it? Because if it's the pack's fault, then they should be reimbursed, obviously. But if it's simply the fact that they think the card is worth less, that is not something that UR has to kind of reimburse them for. That's on them for reducing the price so much. I really like to continue with that thought, but I gotta make sure we do this. So Javi Al, level 47. He doesn't have a whole lot of power, so we're about equal in power overall. He's got a lot more damage on his side because he's got Berserk for everything. Okay, so I think as normal we're gonna lead with Willow. With nothing. Doesn't matter. Don't care how much he decides to do against me. Hopefully he plays a few pills. Anyway, so if they deflated the price on their own, then that's, to me, at least in my opinion, that's kind of their fault. And UR doesn't need to help them out for that one. So dealing with the issue of this kind of pack thing is a real issue. So when you look at it, people keep continuing to look at Leliana and saying, you know, she's lost all this money. But look at Lone as well. Lone, one of the people on the market did argue with me about this. The Lone was released at a different time, but that's an extremely incorrect statement. He was released he was supposed to be released on the same day, and he was released one day later. But he is still the only other card that was not only given out as a special limited edition in this event, but also was placed into this pack with her. And so Lone, proportionally, not money-wise, obviously Lone is going to be worth a lot less because there are way more of him in existence right now. But the biggest issue here is that Lone should have followed the exact same pattern. If Leliana lost on Clint's for this, then Lone also should have lost on Clint's. And that would prove, if there was an equal distribution of loss, if both of them were proportionally the same, that would prove that the issue was with the pack release and not with people's overall perception. But in fact, Lone's price went up from 4K to 6K, which means that people actually thought Lone was worth more when more of him came in. And so to me, that shows that it is the kind of seller and buyer's perception of the card that has changed, as opposed to the actual release of the pack. And you can argue that the release of the pack did cause the change in perception, but a change in perception should not have resulted in 75% loss of value. Like, she shouldn't have gone from 400k to 200k, or 500k to 200k. That kind of perception, that doesn't happen by just a pack release, in my opinion, and it shouldn't just be in the, this is what we think has happened. Okay, so what do we want to do here? We've got Elvis as a strong play. Jeffrey, Lola are going to be worth pretty much nothing. They're both only 7 power, so I don't have to worry too much about that. So why don't we just go ahead and go... I'm expecting at least a 1-pill play, and even if he doesn't, then I can still follow up with Simeon. I just need to win one of these next 2 rounds in order to make Simeon... Ah, you played 2. Okay, nice job, Javial. So overall, I guess my end result is that I think that people should not be compensated for the loss of this, for the addition of this pack, unless the admins see that there was a large number of cards that entered circulation. If we're talking, people bought these packs and there were an additional 150 that came in, or even 300, then of course that's going to greatly affect the market price. But if we assume that only 20 or 30 were released and actually made it into the market because of this pack, then I wouldn't say that that's a significant enough entrance in order to merit any kind of compensation, because even if they pay back compensation now, who's to say that the price won't raise until the end? We really won't know until the very, very end of everything. So I need to do 10, technically 8 damage in order to win, which I can do with both Simeon and Crayhell. They're going to know that I need this. Assuming Jeffrey, Jeffrey is going to be 10, 9, I would need at least 8 pills left. We're not going to try and be tricky. I know it's fun to be tricky. It's nice to be tricky. I'm just going to go with this straight up. If you don't call me right now, this match is over. So we'll see. If we win this round, then this game is ours, and if not, then it's not. Hopefully he will be thinking, he knows he needs to win this round, so he's going to pill big in order to get Simeon, but then I'll be able to beat him. He did go with Jeffrey. So that means he actually went in. Yeah, okay. Well, so be it. So be it. He went with the obvious. I was not expecting that. That's okay. Again, we had enough damage done that we don't... Or we have enough ELO points right now that we don't really need to worry about a loss this round. But well done, Javial. Yeah, anyway, so I guess that ends our ELO match today. So I am curious, what are your thoughts about the Halloween packs? Do you think that people should be reimbursed? If you do, how much? When do you think they should be? I think it's pretty much already been made clear at this point, it seems, by Jealous, that they are not going to reimburse people. But I'm curious on your opinions. Please weigh in. Let me know what you feel about this whole kind of mini fiasco. Was it just an unfortunate market twist? People should kind of deal with their purchases on the market, or do you think that it was not fair? And you don't have to say whether or not you lost anything. I think all opinions are valid, and even though some people say it doesn't matter if you didn't lose money because of the card, I think that's just a really mean way of saying it. It's trying to show superiority. It's trying to show that you're more important than other people, and say that your opinion is the only one that matters, and that my opinion as someone else who was also affected by this doesn't matter. You say, well, I was affected more, and you say, well, that's only potentially true. I mean, if you're given a large amount of Clint's and you then change the market value of another card that I really wanted, then you're actually going to be affecting people in a very real way with the money reimbursed you're given. And so because of your effect on the market, that will affect not just me, but everyone else. And so reimbursing you could actually be a net loss for everyone else. And so in that way, I don't think anyone's opinion is more valid or less valid than anyone else's. And so that's one reason I'd like to hear your guys's. So leave me a comment down below with what you think, either about my ELO play today, which was a little erratic and not a whole lot of commentary given on. I'm sure you saw some things in there that I made some big mistakes. Should have done a little better, but overall, I'm pleased. Won 3, lost 2. It's a good record. I've got 1,033 ELO, which means that I don't have to play anymore, and I'll be getting my 2 credits and 400 Clints for this week for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great day, and remember, if you like this, please remember, if you like this video, then feel free to like it, feel free to leave a comment, or feel free to share it with your friends. And also, just thanks again for watching. This is Xonia, and you've been in the zone.